that will be the second part of the video. First part of the video that I took is about the facade of the church. Sorry, the roof of the church, from the corridor until the end of the Ethiopian part of the church. Here, I might start a new video. Then it will be one long video and another short video only about the inner part of the church. What is happening now? Lately, the church, all the denomination decided to renovate the floor of the church. And what they're doing, they're taking off the stones of the church, and you can see it here. They're excavating, and then they will bring back the one that they can, and they will bring whatever it will do in the future, I don't know, because there's so many speculation. This is the facade of the church from early Crusade time. Remember that the main entrance was from the corridor. Today, from the Crusade time, the entrance is from here. In the Muslim time, especially after at the time of Saladin, after the Crusade time, the keys of the church were part of the two Muslim ceremonies that until today, opening and closing the door of the church. And there were three doors. One that we will enter through it, and one that was sealed by Saladin, and there's another one there, and this is the Franks chapel, which is the 10th station of the cross, and suddenly it's closed, and that's why the strip in from is closed. The church was very beautiful, I must say. If you go a little bit backward, you will see a little bit more of it. And you will hear the noise. And you can see the facade of the church. Mainly from 12th century. It was beautifully covered with so many things. Today it's, as you can see, almost naked. Almost nothing left from the Crusade mosaic, although at the front you will see a little bit of it. And maybe one day they will agree to do something to maintain it. What you can see here is a ladder. And because it might be a different video, and I promised for my subscriber to show myself, then are you ready? No, this is me. And I'm honoring the tour for everyone who are watching it, but mainly from Andrew Matson that bought the you can do that too. Go into the link in my description of Buy Me a Coffee, or send me a message and I will send you the link for it. Then the two windows belongs to the Armenian. The inner part is called the second Golgotha, and the story tells us that they wanted to clean the windows from the outside, and they took the ladder out. The Greek Orthodox came to them and said, hey, the facade belongs to you, to everyone, and you cannot do that anymore. Then in that case, they are not allowed to do that, but the ladder is there. I do have pictures of it, and if you will take a private tour with me, you will see a picture from 1870 that the ladder was there. The tension between the Greek Orthodox and the Armenian still exists, mainly because of the holy light, holy fire. On Saturday Easter, holy fire goes down to the tomb of Jesus, and all the lights, all the candles lit it from it. I'm talking about the Orthodox, Greek Orthodox, and Armenian. According to the legend, or it maybe actually happened at the 16th century. The Armenian didn't let the Greek Orthodox to be together with them in the chapel. Then there was waiting for the light to come out from the tomb, but it didn't. As a surprise, when the Greek Orthodox was standing here, the holy fire went out from that creek. Then you can see that a lot of the Greek Orthodox will come to here to touch it. And if we're talking about that, you can see here graffiti of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. You can see the Golgotha here and the cross on top of it. And if we're talking about graffiti, this is the graffiti from 14th century. Really difficult for me with the cross. I will try to show it to you. Here it is. And if we're talking about that, let's move to the Crusader time. And here is the tomb of Philip that was, a teacher of the King Henry, and he forced King John to sign the Magna Carta. There were a lot of Crusader tombs in the church. Today, they're not there anymore. Then let's enter to the tomb. Sorry, to the church. To your right, you will see the Golgotha. And you know what? Because we are not going into the tomb anyhow, because we already did it, let's do that according to the story. Then we are climbing up the Golgotha, the Calvary, which divided into two. That part belongs to the Catholic. The other one belongs to the Greek Orthodox. The church has been destroyed a few times. If by the Romans, Muslims, or earthquakes a few times, it was burned down by the Christians themselves at 1808. Then everything that you see here is new. Remember the door, the entrance from the Franks chapel. This is the entrance. This is the door. Don't look at the window. And you can see here nailing to the cross right there, and to the next to it, Mary with the spear in her heart. Mary holding the dead body of her son, the Pietà. But the most important thing here, and this is the most important part, and this is the crucifixion place. But you can see here the nailing to the cross. Mary with the spear in the heart, and the crucifixion place. Here you can see Jesus on the cross with the sinless, Jesus from Nazareth, King of the Jews. To the right you can see John, and to the left you can see Mary, the mother. While Jesus was on the cross, he asked John to take care of his mother. You can see 3 marks on the floor. That is where Jesus was crucified, and people are touching the excess part. And that cross already touched it early morning. And to the right and to the left, the place of the 2 robbers, the 2 thieves that were crucified with him. The Golgotha is actually covered with glass window, mainly because people want to take some souvenir. And in that part, you can see the creak of the earthquake. Can you see it? Yes, right there. Beautiful, isn't it? 2 different languages. This is the Greek Orthodox language of the Passion, the Passion, and the Catholic part. It's actually telling you the story from Adam and Eve until Jesus' time. And look at that mosaic floor, mosaic wall. This is Isaac, and my name is Isaac. Zahi is the shortcut of Isaac. Then you can call me Isaac as well. Shaked, it's almond, then Isaac almond, and you can see here, Abraham wanted to show God that he's loyal to him by sacrificing his own child, but the angel Gabriel came to him and said, God trust you, don't do that, and he didn't. Jesus came to continue that story, to take our sins from. And let me see, although I blessed it already, let me see if I can bless it, not only when they strip him from his clothes. I will try to bless it. And for Matson, let me see, excuse me please, just a moment please. I will put it right here, where they nail him to the cross. And the spear in the heart of Mary, which is to the left of us, is part of the presentation at the temple when Saint Simon told her that her son will die in front of her eyes. It will be like a spear entering to the stabbed mother, the Rosa. I won't be able to reach there, but let me just put it there. Here again, blessing it, and you can see stabbed mother. The spear in her heart. And they go backward. People won't think that I'm taking their place, and thank God that they let me do that. Excuse me, please. Thank you. Now we are leaving now the Golgotha and heading.
We always watch your video.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Finally see you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we're gonna subscribe for you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That,
We subscribe for you. It's
now
nice.
you are part of the video. Yeah, then let's say in about a week you will be able to see it.
Your videos are very helpful.
Thank you very much. Then now you know the story of the church.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. This is strange because until now, no one saw my face. Mainly because I didn't want that. I feel so embarrassed. But now you force me to do that, and more people will do that. And you know what? I went myself. Maybe I will bury myself here too. Then, what we saw is the crucifixion, and you see he wasn't crucified by himself. It's beautiful to see the women power of it. Where are the men? Let's talk about who is actually here from the 12. John, the one who hugging the hand of Jesus. And this is Nicodemus and Joseph of Arimathea gave Jesus his own tomb. They were part of the Sanhedrin, but secretly they believed in Jesus. And remember, we already know that the crucifixion place was next to the tomb that you will see, and I can see already the queue there. Then we will be there soon. Just like the Jewish way, they, until today, they are, when a Jew dies, according to the Jewish law from the Bible, you must bury the dead at the same day. And a day begins and ends at sunset. Then that is, they have to crucify, they have to purify the body of Jesus before sunset, before the holiday begins. And the holiday begins only at sunset. And you can see here John, the disciple. You will recognize him without the beard, and Nicodemus and Joseph of Arimathea. And what can I tell you? The face of Mary makes me so sad. I had only one child, and I'm so afraid of it. Look at the women crying with Mary. And this is the place that, according to tradition, they purify the body of Jesus. Then the stone is actually surrounded with another marble because people want to take them souvenir. Oh, the smell is amazing. It's covered with anointing oil. Then your cross now, the minute you touched it, is priceless. You know, you can buy any cross here and take it home. But if you will bless it, the place that they noted the body of Jesus, that is priceless. And according to the Greek Orthodox, if you will feel sick, the best way to do it is to hold it. The energy is so strong now. Then we will continue the story. We are going to the tomb himself, but I want you to see that the tomb was a cave. And if people will let me, I will enter to one of the caves there to show you that it used to be a cemetery area at the time of Jesus. Then he buried Jesus like they bury every Jew here in Israel, without a casket, without a coffin. The tomb of today is totally different than the tomb of ancient time. What you see here is a structure that's been destroyed so many times because the church has been destroyed so many times. And the structure of the tomb is there. Today it's new. It's only from they rebuilt it at the 19th century. But this site is the site, and this is the most important part. I will try to go through it, and you will see the entrance of it. If you will see a candlelight, this is the first chapel of the angel to take care that no one will steal the body of Jesus. And the inner part is the tomb of Jesus itself, which is of course empty because you know what's happened on Sunday. Now this is the Armenian chapel. That's where the women, you can see women there, looked at the crucifixion place according to the Armenian. And you can see that we are lighting candles. But you see that candle she is lighting, it's like 33 candles in one torch, and she will take it on just like that. He'd been blessed by the holy fire of Easter, or the oil, anointing oil of Easter, and now the candle is priceless. Then let me see if they will let me enter. Yes, I will. See the line? The line is quite big. And what's happening here? Remember, they are renovating the floor of the church. Soon they will reach that part, and you can say that you saw that area before they been renovated. And let's sneak slowly to see what's happening here. Remember, two chapels. This is the first one, and the inner one, yeah, now we can see it. Now I want us to enter to see another tomb of 1st century, but for that, can I sneak in? Thank you very much for letting me do that. Another place, another part of the renovation of the floor. And let me see if they will let me do it. Yes, they will. We are going to see a real tomb from the time of Jesus. Now you know that Jesus was crucified in a virgin tomb. What do you mean by that? A tomb that no one used before. Why it's so important for us? First of all, look at that tomb. And this is one of the amazing monks ever. He is so sweet and he always smiling. Thank you very much. And yeah, and this is the chapel now. Until he will go back to his own chapel, right there. It might take another 2 months. No.
Just, I think this week.
This week he will move back to that. Then this is history.
Yes.
All right, then look at that history. And then he will go back to there. You see that they already renovated here. Then they put some wooden floor. And we will go in to a very important place. Now, this is the most important church in the world, but look how bad the situation is, mainly because they still argue who owns that place. If that belongs to the Armenian, if that belongs to the Church of Saint-Sépulcre, remember there are so many debates here. The British try to put an order in it, but before someone else will come, I want you to see that. For that I need to change the lens, because I need you to see. All right, now we can see it. This is a real tomb from the time of Jesus, and if you ask me, that's how the tomb of Jesus looked like. Let's go in, and you can see there are so many niches. Some of them are sealed, like that one and the left one. They used to put the body in it, and then here we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were more. There were more. I believe there were at least 10. It belonged to a rich family, and we will talk about who owns it soon. But if it's owned by a rich man tomb, it means. Let me begin again. If you are poor, let's say my family, we are not, or so many other families, they don't, Jesus' family. We are talking about poor family, then they couldn't allow themselves to build something like that. Then let's say there are 10 bodies to be buried here, 10 niches. What will happen to the 11th body? There's no more place for that. Then they will open one of the oldest tomb, they will take the bones out, they will put it in a box by the name ossuary, and then they will bury the dead, and they will bury the new body. Remember the virgin tomb? I think now we can understand it. Jesus got a tomb that no one used before. If no one used before the other tomb, and it was at the garden of Joseph of Arimathea, owned by Joseph of Arimathea, then it might be the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea that he built for his family. When you're going out, be careful. It's a low ceiling, and we don't need that. Yeah. All right. There's a scholar that I really love and I'm following his researches, and he said that it might be not the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea, or might be the tomb of the family of Jesus. Then this is Mr. Gibson, Professor Gibson. True or not, I don't know, but what it actually tells you, that it used to be a tomb from the time of Jesus. Then it used to be a cemetery area, and you already saw at that long video, at the video that I did before that, quarries. Then in that case, quarries are always outside the city. There's no reason to have a quarry inside the city. Some said that it was belonged to King Herod, that he built the city with it, or tried to build it. Some said, and then he died, and no one used it until the Romans took it to their place, and this is the Golgotha. And some say that it was built at the first temple time, but it wasn't the best stones for them, then they stopped doing it. Another important thing here is that wall. That wall is one of the only evidence from the 4th century church. Then first of all, you can see a church from time of Jesus, then let's say 1st century AD or 1st century BC, and that is from the 4th century. Remember, most of the church of today is from the Crusade time. Then you can see a lot of holes here, especially around that tomb. That shows you that the church was covered with marble, or that chapel was covered with marble, and maybe even good stones here, because we are talking about an evidence from the time of Jesus. Now, it's not a chair, it's an altar. What you see here is the fire from 1808 and graffiti. Remember the 14th century graffiti? That is history. It's a graffiti from the time of the Italian, from the Crusade time. But this is new graffitis. Pollution or not? You will have to choose. Then we have to go back from the same place. I cannot continue through there, at least not yet. And we're going to climb up. Thank you very much. We're going to climb up to... Oh, actually, we've been there. We will go to the 15th station. Remember, the only 14th station of the Via Dolorosa. But lately, people started to add another station here. And this is the 15th station. This is where Mary met Jesus on Sunday at the resurrection. That's where Mary was standing. See the monk, the brother, Franciscan brother, he's standing where Jesus was standing. And Mary on Sunday was looking around and saying, where are they? She didn't find the body of Jesus at remember the first chapel of the tomb? She saw the angels who told her, he's not here, he actually resurrected. Then she looked for him and she saw a gardener. And she said, did you take the body of my Lord? If not, please bring me back the body. And that was Jesus himself. Then let me bless it here as well for Andrew Matson. I won't be able to speak at the family chapel. It's a Catholic one. Then I will go and be quiet, but you will see there a pillar that some people believe they mocked and hit and beat Jesus while he was sitting there waiting for the crucifixion. I'm not sure that they will let me go in, or I'm not sure that it's open, but let's try to enter to the Greek Orthodox Cathedral. So there are some of the stones. Yeah, it's open. Then let's go in. This is the Greek Orthodox Cathedral. Remember, there are two domes. That's one here, small one, and the big one is right here. And you know that from time to time I'm lighting candles for people who ask me to do that. And again, enter to buy me a coffee, and you will see how. If you've never been in a Greek Orthodox Church, and it's divided into two. The inner part, after that wall of icon, the Anastasis, is the Holy of the Holy. And only when the priest finished to deal with God and the Holy Bread, only then he goes out. But the most important thing here is that stone. According to tradition, this is the center of the Word. Let's bless it here. Forgot to mention this, the word Jerusalem on it, of course. And if you will ask me to add your name into it, I will do that. But sadly, Andrew, you didn't tell me a thing about your life. And if you wanted me to write your name there, then anyhow, you need me. You need to send me the shipping address. Then please tell me if you want to add it. And if you want me to bless someone from your family, I can do that by lighting candles for them. Then please answer me if it's okay by you. beautiful church, isn't it? Remember the dome at the Ethiopian part that I told you to remember? Let me take you there. Then we are leaving now the tomb and heading to few more chapels. If this is your first video of mine, please subscribe to my channel. It's very important for me to see that what I'm doing is worth something, and please, you can write me or ask me anything that you want, but try to be polite. This is a video of love, not a video of hate. Let's enter to here, and this is the Chapel of Adam. We are beneath the Golgotha. You can see the Golgotha. And according to what we know, at around 3 o'clock, the earth started to shake and blood, tears went through the creek of the bedrock, and people resurrected. According to the Greek Orthodox, one of them was Adam. And before you will ask me how can it be that Adam actually resurrected, the flood destroyed everything, then God took care of his tomb, and he was buried here again after it. And accept the tradition, please. If that door will be open, ask the Greek Orthodox monk a permission, and go in and turn left. You will see a piece of the true cross, and we are going to see where the cross of Jesus was found. Another option to see the Golgotha. Let me stand here. You know, I think I never took a picture of it. No, yes, you're right. It's difficult to understand the story of the church without a tour guide. That's true to all over Jerusalem, but now, just like the couple that I saw from the United States, watching my videos will let you a lot of information, and you can always ask me some more information. Of course, I can be a tour guide. You remember the pillars that Jesus was sitting on in, and they laughed at him, they mocked him, they beat him? This is the Greek Orthodox version. And before we'll continue down, let me show you an Armenian chapel, because there's light here now. This is the Spear chapel. And if you want to see the real spear, Linguinius, you have to go to Ichmiazin. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly this time. In Yerevan, the main, I call it the Vatican of the Armenian, and you will be able to see that. Sadly, when I was there, and Armenia is one of the most beautiful places ever, the spear itself was in America. Then I saw a replica of it. Alright, lots of people. And still the light is there, then let me show you that chapel, because usually it's dark. This is part of the indoor Via Dolorosa. Remember that the keys were at the hands of the Muslims until late Ottoman time. Then they used to open and close the door for the pilgrims, and not everyone could enter to here, and you had to pay a lot of money. And the Arabs, so the Muslims, didn't let the Christians to have procession. Then one of the procession was, some of the procession were here. You see some of the stones, the floor stones, and I don't know what they're doing there, but it's. I took a picture of it, not a video. They were mad at me, and I'm trying not to do that again. Although I really wanted to do that for the sake of history. Now we are going to another Armenian chapel, and then later on you will see a Greek Orthodox chapel. It's of Gorgias, who the Enlightenment, I think, who is the one who converted the king of Armenia and all the nation of the Armenians into Christianity. And they actually been converted to Christianity around 30 years before Constantine did it to the Roman Emperor. And they were here before everyone. Sadly now, they are renovating here, then it's difficult to see the beautiful painting. But here you might see, it looks like John the Baptist and Jesus, but it's not, it's Gregorius, our Baptist king of Armenia. You can see there, that's to the left, is royal clothes. And 9 cities of Armenia that now some of them been destroyed by the Turkish at the genocide of the Armenians in 1915. Some of them still exist. And you can see Ararat, which I saw it for Armenia, but it now belongs to the Turkish. According to what we believe, St. Helena, when she found the 3 crosses of Jesus sat in that chair, and there are 2 chapels here. Here you can see Jesus being baptized by John this time. And I forgot to mention that door, and I entered there only 3 times in my life, and I'm guiding more than 23 years. Wow, already you will find a beautiful graffiti of a boat, and it says, "We came to visit you, my Lord." I think in the book of Psalm and the book of John you can find something like that. And remember the dome? And here it is. Then some people believe that the mosaic, the graffiti of the boat with the inscription is about the most ancient graffiti of the existence of the church. Now we can see that everything is covered here. But here it's not. Why? Why it's not? Mainly because their chapel belongs to the Catholic. And you see where the border is? That's small grass. Then let's go to the most ancient part of the church. It's exactly like the water system that you saw at the beginning of the video. If you didn't see it in that video, it's because I cut that video into 2. Then a previous video shows you water system at the Egyptian part, and here you can see the second statue of the Catholic. The first one is the mother, Stabat Mother with the spear, and this is St. Helena. The church was opened to the public at 335 AD. And St. Helena, when she came to here later on, and they took her to that place, and you can see the dome. And we are actually going there. And she found here 3 crosses. She took an old lady, a sick lady, or maybe a lady that died according to a different tradition. And the first cross touched it, nothing happened. Second cross touched it, nothing happened. The third cross touched it, you know exactly what's happened. The lady was actually resurrected, and that's where they found it. And every day that I'm here, I'm thinking about my first woman who actually supported me and gave me my life back at COVID time. That was Betty, and she asked me to take a video of that spot, and here I am, going back to here. Another thing that you can see here is a beautiful fresco of Jesus. John and his mother next to him. It's very difficult to see it here. Then let me see if I can show it to you. I'm going to use the flashlight. Wait a minute. Let me see. All right. Now I can see it. And if we're talking about that, look at the plaster. You might see some crosses. But the plaster, what the plaster is doing here, just like the water system that we saw at the beginning of the long video, long version, they cover it with a plaster and they use it as a water system. And you can see the bucket holes. Let me show you that it used to be a quarry here. I will use the flashlight again. Here it is, quarry. King Herod time, on different version, 8th century BC. Then with this is the end of that lovely video. Let's thank Matthew Matson that helped me producing that video for you. Then thank you very much for being with me. See you in my next video. Bye bye.